Hey my immortal nerds, new essences are out for our best class, the Barbarian, and with that new ways of playing PvP. Took me a while to find something valid, but with a little trick we are ready to do some nice game control. Let's be honest, Barb is not at a sweet spot currently, but with this video it can hopefully help you on that. Barb is still very impactful. Check out the following builds and claim your wins in Diablo Immortal. Hey guys, the new stuff really looked so cool when I first got the patch notes, and I thought like, yes, that's exactly what we needed. Cool stuff, channeling, knockup stuff and everything, starting with that stomp that has a great potential, a shield on the helmet and a knockup that is stackable. Awesome stuff with nice capabilities for the PvP. But somehow it didn't work out as I expected. It's the same issue as always. We have the Undying Rage, we miss a skill, and by that, if we go for utility, we will always lack damage. But okay, still great stuff, cool shield and a cool knockup. We just need to see how that will work up in the future. In my later build, I will go with that skill. It's still valid, it can do some nice impact. Next, the hammer. That one I thought initially, okay, you can ground an enemy when knock up, okay, but how often can you knock up someone? Every few seconds, so what the hell, we cannot do this in PvP, just a CC event every, I don't know, 5 seconds or something. Totally useless in my opinion, the hammer. Still, a nice thing that a hammer can be utilized in the future to reduce enemies' damage. That is pretty awesome. Still, it's not valid for this one, forget about the hammer. Lastly, the Sunder, and that one, I really hope for a nice channeling thing, and what we get is that crazy chicken dance where he stomps around and tries to hit everything. So, I don't know, yeah. For PvE, it's not applicable, honestly. There is a possibility to do something, but let's check that out. I think I have it in the outro later, you can check it out there, but it is too slow, honestly. For PvP, yeah, what the hell. You are so slow in PvP that you cannot chase anyone with that skill. But there are chances. We look at this. Second essence is the chest. That one sounds pretty awesome because, okay, it was initially thought to work with the shoulder. Yes, nice thing, but yeah, it's still too slow. But there are chances to do some builds with that shoulder, especially when you look at the old Sunder shoulder where you got that fire dot behind you, that fire trail, the more shoulders. There are some great potentials behind that. It could be a nice build with an older Whirl that was buffed with additional damage. That could work out so great. Still, it's not working as it should because most of the new stuff we got, the Reel of Cutters Whirl, they cannot be improved by attack speed, so what the hell, it's kind of useless. And the whole Whirlwind attack animation is not working on attack speed anymore, so that's broken as well. So for now, we should not think about the chest anymore, but we can work with the shoulders. You have to know that the shoulders are a channeling, intended to be a channeling a skill, but what happens if you just double tap the skill? It directly activates the knockup. It directly activates the buffs on yourself. So this is awesome, and this can be used, and it can be even enhanced with the ancient, the Terra essence of the Sunder, where you do an AoE each time this skill is activated. So with an activation time of like 0.5 seconds, you can non-stop fire that skill with a big AoE of like up to 80k damage in PvE, and I think like 60k damage in PvE and PvP, which means each double activation does a double 60k attack with debuff on enemies, and this is really something you can work with. And now on top of that, we have that Sunder with that great activation, double effect, knock-up stuff. We go with the AI Barb, the Terra Unburdened helmet that gives us the damage reduction. So we activate the damage reduction, We still got it, okay? And we double click our Sunder. Now what happens is that we get the damage reduction on ourselves from the Sunder for a few seconds. So you see it activates. And as soon as we did that double tap, we are in the damage reduction of the Demoralize. So we have both in parallel. They do not stack fully, definitely. It gets reduced, but we get a higher damage reduction than the initial 35% from the Demoralize. And this is crazy, right? It's a cool effect. Now, third thing, we have Sunder, AoE, knock up, damage reduction, increased damage on enemies. We have the Demoralize that gives us damage reduction, movement speed, full immunity to any CC. And now we go to the last part, the Stomp. The Stomp knocks up people and increases the knock-up when they are already in a knock-up animation, increasing the damage on them as well. Second damage increase. And the Sunder, the double tap, is a knock-up. So what you can do is you can permanently trigger that Sunder, double tap it. Someone will go up, you will see it. And then you just hit the Stomp. And you do that crazy, the enemy is like 2 or 3 seconds out of the game animation. And you can do this again and again and again, because the Sunder has no cooldown. And this is the magic behind this build I'm gonna present you now. We have a build that gives us buffs, a lot of buffs. We have the Demoralize, 35% damage reduction. We have the Demoralize crit from the primary attacks of increased crit chance of 23%. We have the full immunity of the demo, 2 knockbacks, 2 slow, 2 CC to anything. And we have from the Sunder another 30% damage reduction, stackable 3 times, each time we do the double tap. So we have a slight increase. Let's say we go to 40, maybe 45% hopefully. I've not tested it fully, but there is an additional effect on our damage reduction. Next, and this is a cool part, you get a supporter, okay? You get a supporter with a decent damage, nice game control, and with a hell of debuffs you throw on your enemies, most of them on a global effect range. We start with the Demoralized, damage reduction of enemies of 90%. When you hit them, right? Damage from the Demoralize and movement speed reduction from the terror affixes that you can put on from 20 to 80%. Gets drived in PvP, yes, but it's still a good movement speed reduction. We have the Sunder that gives an armor shred of 25%. So enemies receive 25% additional damage from any source, from any of your 7 other players in PvP. Then we have the Sunder with the movement speed reduction of 30%. I show that to you later from the chest. Then we get our Stomp. So once the enemy gets thrown up, we have an armor shred of 25%. Means you can do the Sunder again and again. He gets the 25% damage reduction, and this is a debuff for 1-2 seconds because of maybe a higher resistance or anything from the enemy. And then you do the throw up again from the Stomp, and then it gets reactivated. He gets again the 25% damage reduction. As the throw up does not happen every time, it's nice. He's constantly getting more damage. This is the idea behind it. And then he gets a full dash block from the chest, and you get the stackable knockups to just get him out of the game for quite a lot of time. The knockup itself, the animation, it's pretty simple. You let the AI Barb do his thing, just running, stomping, everything. And then you can just double tap it, but you need to double tap. So don't go crazy. Trust the double tap in PvP, okay? And you see, then he gets thrown up, and then you can just click the Stomp, and he will fly pretty high then. And you see he's quite a time out of the game, and while he's there, you keep hitting with the auto barb, okay? So he's getting constant damage from you. And with that, if you are on a higher armor penetration or anything, people actually die. It means you deal a lot of damage. It's not like something just, haha, we do a little CC stuff here. No, we do crazy damage still. Not as much as with the Berg Breaker maybe, but still a lot of damage while we disable the whole team at an idle or something. So it's great stuff. Some of you will say, but everyone has knockback immunity. That's right. Many people have knockback immunity, but not the whole time. many barbarians. Barbarians will be your heaviest enemy because they have AI mode. But the Whirl players, you will have a good impact on them, and the AI Barb, he gets out of the mode as well and gets sometimes in between stunned. You can use that time because you can activate your Sunder as often as you like. And another great enemy are BKs. BKs are crazy. We know it with their shield, and during that shield that have their knockback immunity as well. It's heavy, but as soon as you do that double tap, maybe they do not get knocked up. They still get the damage increase and they still get the movement speed reduction in anything, okay? So you have still an impact even if the knockback is not working all of the time. When we look at the whole debuff thing, it's of course a very nice idea to push your debuffs even more with duration. So a 2-piece Feasting Barons is a nice idea, a Misery Elixir is a nice idea, both giving you an increased duration on your debuffs on the enemy, because we are barbarians and it's still not a good idea in my opinion to play on potency. Potency is something for necromancers and so on. If you class changer frequently, okay, go for it, and you have nice impact, then maybe you can go for a 6-piece banquet as well, but if you are high resonance only. But yeah, push your duration of harmful effects. This is a really nice thing to do. Cool, still we want to do damage. We are not just debuff stuff. We want to do damage, and our main damage skill is still the Terror Unburdened with the Demoralize. And there's a thing that is good to know. Primary attack. It is a primary attack, but not every primary attack buff will work. A good way to boost it and to increase your damage is increasing it with the attribute of deal more primary attack. You see we have a constant damage here as a test of 25,600 damage. I just go with the complete off equipment stuff. I just equip one item that has the attribute to increase your primary attack damage. And now we just for test purposes enchant it away. So primary attack 6%, bye, we get something else. And accuracy, by the way, nice thing to do against all of that evasion rating at the moment. Yeah, but we do damage again, and just to prove it to you that the Demoralize is really a primary damage, we now have 24,500 damage, so less damage than before because we removed that attribute. It's important to know. Enough with the theory. I know some of you are not interested. Still, it's good to know if you really want to push your character, okay? So take the time and listen to it if you like. But build overview. You want to see the essences. You want to know what's happening here. Skills, demo, stomp, Sunder, and the Undying Rage, of course. Build without Undying Rage, in my opinion, is not a thing. Then do a class change to Crusader or something. But yeah, whatever. In this build, Gems, Misery, and Elixir works good because of the harmful effect duration. Spiteful to stay alive even longer. Gloom because it has that wave on primary attacks. We do primary attacks, it triggers, nice thing to do. More is nice, little bit utility, pull people to you, and with the affix of the whirl from the vanguards, you have two whirls that you can activate. It's a nice thing to do. Okay, and then crit, of course. We need crit. Crit is very, very important in PvP. We go with the gladiator for the cheat death. You can go with the, of course, benefactor for that shield. Benefactor for the shield is very valid. Go for it. There's this other skill that lets you deal on a few yards you run and do primary attacks, do a knock up on the primary attack. And this is a nice thing for this build, of course, because you have an additional knock up that you can utilize for that stomp. So it's a nice idea, tested benefactor, but is of course a very nice idea. Essences, Terror Unburdened, Iron Tusk, the Tundra Burr, and the Dishonored Blade. 4 essences for our Demoralize, to keep it activated 100% of the time, to give us crit, and to reduce the damage of enemies. Nice combination. Then we have the Sunder, the shoulders for that channel that is not channel, only double tap. If you don't know why double tap, go back in the video and check the trick. If you do no double tap, the skill is useless, okay? It needs to be used only like this. And then the chest, not with the attack speed, because we do not stomp around, we just double tap the skill, and then we do the movement speed reduction and the dash skill block for the enemies, so debuff stuff. And then the ground stomp with the Giant's Wake and the Pulp Maker on the offhand to give us that 2 activations of the additional knockup with that heavy damage burst and that damage increase on the enemy. And the Pulp Maker, because we are often around the idol, we go there and we lift up many people or hit many people, so we have good availability of our ground stomp with that cooldown reduction. Sets, 4-piece Mount Bank essential, we need to stay alive. 2-piece Baron to boost the duration of the debuffs. 2-piece Vithus to prolong our Undying Rage, of course, in all of our skills. And now we go to the cool part. The Terra affixes here are so good. You have the Demoralize slow. On hit, you slow by 20%, stackable 4 times to 80%. Crazily good. You have that Sunder AoE that activates every time you double tap. So you do this big wave of damage. Up to 100k in PvE, or at least 80 to 100k. It's like 90k, 1000, whatever. And in PvP it gets, if you have 4 of it, a 60 to 70k damage burst. So every stomp from the Sunder will do that 2 big time damages. It's like if you have a nice crit, if you have a nice armor penetration, it's like a classic Hota hammer activation. It can really hurt with a good range. And then you even could go for the Stomp Eternal affix. It's nice as well, Terra affix, where you have that trail of fire behind you. It's a nice thing too. It looks like the Maw, but it is of course less damage. But another hit, if you go with the Wolf's Heart or anything, you can do, you can increase the hits on the enemies, and by this the additional damage. This is the idea. It's a really cool build. Try it out. Bit less damage than the old AI Barb that was used before. So when we check what is the difference to the old build, we have more control, knockbacks, debuffs and anything, but we have a bit less damage. You could play this build without the ground stomp and put in a Berg Breaker with the Wrath, or put in the chains to pull enemies to you to do this Sunder double activation. But honestly, that knockback, that stacked knock up, not knockback, it's too good to just avoid it, because we are anyway in that stupid mode, in that AI mode. So go with it. It really works. And if anything goes wrong and you're running like a stupid barbarian to the wrong direction, you could now actually use this skill to stay in idle. So it's a nice little benefit. Cool. Okay, I know many of you don't like that AI stuff at all. They want to control their barbarian to be at the right spot at the right time and to do your stuff. And honestly, in my opinion, there's currently just one build that really works most of the time and benefits your team in a way that you can actually say, yes, I did my part in this PvP battleground battle. And it's still a Whirl build, okay? But it's not the old world as we had before. The damage variant with the essences from the last patch, where you go with the full immunity from the Demoralized Helmet that gives that big AoE damage. We go now with the old Spartusk. So the Whirl build I'm going to show you is focused around the Spartusk, and what it does is, okay, classic Whirly with the Reel of Cutters, and you have the Bronze Burn now. So the chest that gives you a knockback immunity while you are whirling. That means you cannot be slowed, you cannot be chilled. This is nice, so most of the combination that freezes you will not work anymore. But you need to whirl into the battle, so you will be a bit slower. You need the Wrath now to be faster, of course, but you're whirling into the battle, so you're not like full speed AI Barb or anything. You need to know what you do. Okay, in this build you need to know what you do. But if you know what you do, you can have a big impact. Good. Damage. For damage we go with the Berg Breaker. It's a good thing because it gives us movement speed, it gives us an AoE damage, and we have the Ox Horns to deal the bleed damage on the enemy while whirling. We have a good attack speed on our whirls, so Ox Horns will be triggered very nicely. And we have the Falling Thunder here as another offhand for the Wrath to keep the uptime okayish, yeah, you know, because of the cooldown reduction, anything. And now we get that additional damage from the Falling Thunder when the enemies are bleeding. So this is the idea, to not be a 0 damage Whirling Barb. We need some damage at least as a Whirling Barb. And we can secure it with that Essences. Utility, Spartusk, I already said it. We want to whirl into a big crowd and then fire our Spartusk. This is the idea. We get CC'd sometimes, definitely, but as the main purpose is the Spartusk, we just wait and let our Undying proc and anything to do that one nice Spartusk activation. And then we whirl. Once everyone get pulled to us, we start whirling, and you will see people will fall like flies then. So you still will do damage. We have the Iron Tusk for that, because especially of that reasons, to do the demo shout and then start whirling with a nice crit chance, because it hit hopefully a few people and it get maxed, and we get the full potential from that crit and can now kill the people, can now kill the BKs that has no shields anymore, can now kill the Crusaders, they lost their immunity, we can kill the Barbs out of their Undying Rage, you know, all of that stuff. This is the idea. It gets supported very good by the Falter Grasp. This gem is really nice because we don't have chains, anything to pull someone to us. We try to hit him once, twice or anything, and on a good hit that guy will be slowed, he cannot dash anymore, and we can actually wall over him. So that's a good gem to go. Then we have no damage reduction. Every other build out there right now is focused about damage reduction for the Barbarian. From the Wrath, the new Wrath Hammer that gives you 30% damage reduction. The new Sunder channel gives you damage reduction. The AI Barb Helm gives you damage reduction. We don't have it. But what we have are 2 gems here that are pretty good. I'm talking about the Crimson Bayonet and the Hound Coil. Those 2 have the one second level and the other one is stance related, damage reduction on you. And they push your damage, plus they do the damage reduction part, which stacks poorly with all of the essences. But if you don't have any essences, those 2 gems can handle that job for you. So it's a nice idea to go for it. And then of course, again, crit. Roiling is nice, or Lament, whatever you have. Cool, let's look at the build overview. We have the control focus, again, demoralized helmet with the ox shoulders for the bleed to activate when we go with the Berg Breaker into our Wrath mode. We have the Falling Thunder here to take full utility out of that bleed and do some damage. Damage coming from the Whirl skin with our Reel of Cutters that stacks attack speed, and we put it together with the demoralized Spartusk. Once we hit it, we have our every hit improves the critical hit chance essence here that makes our hits actually hurting while people lost every beneficial effect on them. And we can move because we have the berm here with the chest with the knockback immunity stuff, so we can wall into our battles, wall out, but we are not that fast. Okay, you need to trigger your Spartusk really good. It's the main focus about it, and you can actually do some impact then on higher resonance battles. Chest, not pants. Pants is still a dead slot, cannot be used here. There is a variant here. A damage focused variant. Honestly, it's working nicely, but just if you are real above your enemies. Otherwise, you will just waste potential, but you can try it, okay? It's in every game. When you go in, you have the chance now to change the set, because using the same skills, you can go with the same gems, you can let anything else be the same, and while you're in the game, you can check the rooster, which is your main job as a barbarian anyway, check what your team looks like, check what the enemy's team looks like, make groups, try to get the lead, makes cool groups, and then you can decide if you go for the damage focus or the control focus. Damage focus means change the head to the Heartless Terror. The Heartless Terror gives you full immunity, is doing that big AoE. Go with the Vipers. If you have a Vipers, Vipers is good because Vipers triggers the Folter Grasp to reduce enemies' movement speed. You can change the main hand Demoralized to the Lion's Mane to Resolve Dots. It's a nice increase of damage here, of course, because we are just doing that one big AoE and then whirling for a long time, so the crit will vanish before we actually do damage. Lion's Mane is better to resolve the bleed. And then we have the chest that gives the crit, so we fill in that role because we don't need the immunity on the chest. We can go with that chest that gives us that nearly that 36% crit chance increase when we get hit, and we get hit all of the time by nearly everything because we are barbarians. So lastly, we don't take the Berg Breaker. You can go with the Berg Breaker definitely, but I would suggest the new Wrath thing here that gives us movement speed and the damage reduction. So you be a bit tankier while you do your damage, okay? If you cannot control the enemy with the Spartusk, you need to do something. You need to stay alive at the idle at least longer. So go with that Wrath Essence to give you more impact on the game. For the sets, pretty easy. Again, a lot of variations, but I like the Seeds 4-piece very much because as a barbarian we can do our damage. People run away, we keep whirling for a bit, and then after a few seconds we let it go, and then they are hopefully out of their out of their savior, they're out of their undying rage, they're out of all of that stuff, and then they get our damage and die. It's nice, a nice way to win duels. Feasting Barons 2-piece to increase our Folter Grasp effect to kill enemy dashes. That's a nice thing with Whirlwinds to have that, and 2-piece Vithus, of course, to increase our Undying Rage and all of our funny, nice effects. Yeah, guys, and that's it. That's my current 2 most valid builds I see. Nice AI Barb addition to do actual control on enemies, and nice Whirlwind build. I think it's even the current community build that is mostly played by everyone, but it's a really nice thing and worth a praise. Thank you again for Nichols' Discord here for sharing all of that ideas in the chat. It's a really nice thing. And yeah, last words, don't go for the PvE essences. I think it's totally useless for PvE. PvP is a thing, here you can actually matter. But you see my little dance here, so for PvE it's fun as well. It just needs the right occasion. Okay guys, thank you very much for watching the video. If you have any ideas, any thoughts on this, as always, keep me posted in the comments, contact me in Discord or in-game, whatever. And have a nice time, guys. Bye bye.